Well, folks, my name's David Edgar. I'm the host of Heart and Hand Rangers podcast, and while it's a pleasure to talk to you most weeks doing these videos, some weeks it really isn't, and this is one of them, but you've got to front up when the performances are bad as well as good, and today was howling, really awful, unacceptably bad on every level. That was a failure of a performance on every conceivable level by Rangers. It was like a greatest hits of the worst mistakes that the team has been making this season, all piled into one awful display, and I'm still struggling, to be honest, to get my head around it. I really am, because there was just nothing at all that you could pick out of that today and say that it even got near to competent, because it didn't. And I don't throw terms like this about a lot, but I think the support were shortchanged today badly by what they got from the side today. Looked a strong team on paper, but paper would also be a good description of the defence. This has been happening all season, we know that. First set piece, a goal to the opposition. The individual mistakes were all throughout all of the goals. I don't know what Tav's trying at the first goal. Alan McGregor should come for it. Balogun has had a nightmare. Nisbet has tormented him all afternoon. The second goal, that ball through the middle or that ball down the channel rather, has been an Achilles heel all season. Again, McGregor should do a bit better with it. The offside trap was, I don't even know what the thinking was with that. And then the penalty compounds it. Then you get kind of back into it, 3-1. You're thinking, okay, one more and that'll make this interesting, because Hibs there would have been a real change of mentality within the stadium. Never even really seriously looked like getting it. And then the substitutions in the second half, I have no idea. Other than all I can think of was that they had a bag with balls in them and somebody turned their back and shouted out numbers, because you're 3-1 down in a cup semi-final and you take off an attacking midfielder for a defensive one, giving you 3 defensive midfielders as you chase the game in the last 20. It kind of looked like the team had given up. It kind of looked like they thought they'd got beaten, which is just never, except for any Rangers team. It doesn't even matter the level of ability. You never ever give up when you're wearing this shirt. I'm actually delighted that we've got a new manager, because it was a sacking performance otherwise. It really was. And then Connor Goldson's interview afterwards to come out and say that he thinks that some of them have lost hunger. I really don't think he's in a strong position to be saying that. And now big decisions await. And the good thing for Jovan Bronckhorst is, of course, that he's not beholden to any of these players. We have to be getting Patterson, I think, into the team at the moment. Tav is not playing well enough to keep the place. It's that simple. John McLaughlin will need to come in. I think needs to be given a run in goals. For whatever reason, Al McGregor looks so he's lost a step and is not saving things that he previously would have saved. The central defence is a nightmare. Goldson clearly doesn't want to be here, and his performances say that, and not signing a new deal says that. So I know there's very little we can do in the short term with that, because of injuries, because of lack of options, but that's definitely an area. Helander coming back will be huge, and we need to go into the transfer market in January. The midfield had no spark about it, and the 3 boys up front, with the exception of Aribo, I thought today were atrocious as well. So I'm not being fair to say all 3, actually. I thought that Aribo was okay, so of course him being sub made no sense. There's nothing really to add to it. They were all terrible. They were all really, really bad, with the exception, as I say, of Aribo. The rest of them, Arfield tried hard, but wasn't quite getting to the pitch of the ball. But yeah, effort should be a minimum. And it's a big challenge ahead for the new manager. He's unveiled tomorrow, and we've got a tough run of games, so he needs to get stuck right in. But the good thing is that we do have somebody who will come in, look at it with fresh eyes, and make decisions based on what they're doing rather than what they've done, because there's far too many in that team that are coasting on the back of last season. Connor Golson says that they've lost a bit of hunger. They've only won 1 trophy. They would be a cheap date in a restaurant then if they're satiated after that. So the new era begins tomorrow, and it can't come quick enough. And with that, all I can say is good luck, Gio, and don't be afraid to make big decisions, because the fans will certainly back you on them. Thanks for listening, folks. I'll be back on Thursday after we take on Sparta Prague at Ibrox. Until then, have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye.